Hi there, this is John Foster here. Okay, let's get ourselves stuck into this Carisma Scale Adventure Bulldog kit. On the SCA-1E kit, this is the revised chassis, the 2.1 spec. You probably remember I did do the first level on the Range Rover. And that's a lovely kit and a lovely car. Love running that one. They're manuals, so Carisma manuals. Very, very good. I would say very easy to follow, very clear. Yeah, Tamiya are probably the market leaders, but these guys are pretty good as well. So open in your manual, your safety precautions. Reminds me of the time of Norm Abram on the TV when you used to have Sky TV. Read, follow your safety instructions. Yeah, this is the lovely kit here. Different languages, of course, for your safety instructions, etc. And then your pages giving you what you should be having for the car. You're going to need a transmitter. You're going to need your servo. You're going to need a receiver. You're going to need your speed controller. You're going to need a motor, and of course your battery pack. Recommended tools, oils, thread locks, and greases and things. So I have most of those anyway. Now they split these up into bags, so it makes it nice and easy for you to follow. Yeah, split it up into bags. So let's do our first bag A, of course. And we're doing shock absorbers, and we're doing 4 of so each corner, and they're lovely shock absorbers, you'll see. Let's get them out of the bag so you can have a look and look at the components that you get. So as you can see, bag A, it's very carefully packed out. You get 4 of your shocks, and they come already like this, sort of assembled. You've got your spring system, you've got your adjuster for your preload, and the main body is like an aluminium, so they are really, really nice shocks. You get then your little blister packs inside where you have your pistons, your diaphragms, end caps and so forth, silicon O-rings, your little washers, ball end adapters. You've got the actual piston, so you can pop that on your piston itself and such like. So you get everything already carefully blister packed for you, and then the O-rings as well. So what I'm going to do is get this set up and then show you one. I'm not going to bore you by doing 4 times. I'm just going to show you the one. So yeah, let's get on. So let's attempt to show you how to build one of these shocks. A couple of important things. So shock comes in the bag, comes like this. So we have to take this apart. So we'll have to take off the spring, take off the bottom. Okay. Take off the top, and we have to take off the adjustable ring. And like I say, these are lovely shocks. They're aluminium shocks, very nice indeed. Okay, so now we're ready for the building of the shock. So I wanted to show you one of the most important things here is to take the piston, make sure it's the right way around. Got a completely threaded iron this end, and you've got a sucker threaded, and then a shoulder here. So what you need the little metal washer. Don't drop it like I just did. So metal washer, pop that on. The piston head, pop that on. The nylon nut, get that going, and then I've got myself some shock pliers. If you've got shock pliers, use them. If you've got normal pliers, put some protection around. And then you need to do these up. So just grip and do that up. Okay, that's now done up. Once that's done up, we then turn ourselves to the step 2 of this. So this is the adjuster ring, and this is that O-ring. This O-ring sits inside. So look, I'll try and get that on camera so you can see. So important, it sits inside, and there is a little recess inside that ring. Okay, I don't know if you can see that now. So now you put that on. We now have to screw this correct way around all the way up the shoulder. So I'm not going to film that for you. I'm going to screw that all the way up. So you just literally push on, make sure you catch the right threads, and away you go. So now we're screwed. It's quite a nice tight fit. Now we've screwed that all the way up. Okay, now we can turn us to the base. Now got a couple of greased, these are the silicone, the little silicone ones. They're greased up, so you pop those in. And then, important to remember, these are the little plastic, they're like plastic washers. So it's a silicone one, plastic one, another silicone one, and then of course the last plastic one. Okay, as that's greased up, you might want to just give your fingers a little bit of a clean on there, and then you put the bottom cap. Okay, quite easy. Pop the bottom cap, don't screw it all the way, but enough. Okay, now that we've done that bit, we now turn ourselves to this one where we place the piston through and just pop it through. Find the little hole there, and it might find a little bit of grease there, so I just pop that on the. Okay, so there we go. So we find the hole, and if you find it's a little bit stiff to push through, that is because of the little plastic washers aren't going over the shaft. So just don't force it. What I found is if you undo the bottom cap, push it through, then you can see that the little plastic one here. So just manipulate that over. And it is quite tight actually. So if it comes to it, take them off and place them over. One on you get. There we are. So silicone one again, and then another of the plastic ones. So if you find it doesn't go through, just take the bottom cap off, manipulate these over the shaft, because they've got to go over the shaft like that. Once they're over the shaft, put the bottom cap back over again, and it should be nice and smooth, which it is. Might have a little bit of grease on your fingers, so again, just a little bit of a wipe. Now we're going to turn our attention to putting the bottom end on, bottom ball end on. So get this started. Excuse me if I've dropped that. There we go. Oh, you've got to get that started. There we go. And then this is where your shock pliers come in again. Hold them right down the bottom end. Got to screw that on. And what we've got to do, we've got to screw this on, and we've got to get a gap of 32.5 mil. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on there. Okay, and now it just so happens I've got one of these. I've set the gap to 32.5 mil, so I can check that. So from there to there, oh, pushing that out. Yeah, I'm about right actually. Probably a touch tight, so what I might do is just back that off a little turn. Just a little turn. And that's good. Yep, there we are. So that's that done. And then once we've got this, we take the ball end that goes through. You can see you either squash it with a pair of pliers, or if you've got a set of these, which I recommend you get, you can just pop that through like that. Now we're ready to fill this with oil. So I'm going to fill this with some oil. I'm just using some Tamiya oil that I've got here. So let me quickly fill that and come back to you. So here we go. So fill your piston, fill it up with oil. About where it's at the top, something like that. And then what it says, move this up and down in order to move the oil around. So I'm just going to do that now. And then you bring all the air bubbles up to the top. So just keep doing that. Okay. And then I'll come back to you once I've got all the air out. So, yeah, all the air bubbles are out. So now we need to do the top cap. So we need to get this together. So I'm just going to use my little device over here for holding the shocks in place. I've got one of these little stands. So I'm just going to pop that in a stand there. Okay, so take the top cap, pop that through. That comes through the top cap like that. And then the little rubber diaphragm, pop that into place. And I tend to squash this into place, passing it over the threads and squeezing it into place. So that's in preparation for popping it on top there. So now you know it's in place and you've got some threads. So you can just see some threads in there. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is take our completed piston, our completed shock, and we are going to get a little bit of seepage of the oil. So take your top cap, pop that over the top, and you'll find there's a little air hole. There's a little air hole here. So as you screw this down, you will get some oil seepage. And just dry that off. Tighten that up. You should now have a nice smooth, lovely. There we are. And then to complete, one spring goes on and the spring holder at the bottom. So now you have a complete shock. There we are. Hey, that's how you do the shocks. And of course we can adjust the preload because it's infinite. Super. Right, do that later. We now move on to the next steps, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build this and I'm going to bring you in as and when I need to show you anything that's of any great importance or any special, a little bit like the ring here, because it's quite a straightforward kit.